Hey everyone, and welcome to more Political Excess. Today, let's do my updated 2022 governor's prediction for the month of October. There's still more than a month to go, and this is when everything is going to get settled. A lot of polling is going to come out. Things can definitely change over the next 4 to 5 weeks. But as of now, let's see where things stand. Safe margins are over 10 points. Likely 5 to 10, lean under 5 points, and tilt 1 point or less. Let's do it a little bit differently. And this time, let's start East Coast and go to the West Coast. So let's start up in Maine. That'll be a lean for the Democrats. Janet Mills does seem poised to win that. It seems like it's closer to a likely based on the recent polling. Maybe Paul LePage surges at the end, but as of now, this looks like it's staying with the Democrats. New Hampshire and Vermont, those are easy, safe for the Republicans. Chris Sununu and Phil Scott, they're not going anywhere. New York, safe for Kathy Hochul and the Democrats. I thought Lee Zeldin was going to be able to get it under 10 points a few months ago. At this point, he might not do it, but I'm not counting him out to get it under 10 over this last month. Massachusetts will be safe, and a flip and a pickup for the Democrats. Not much to say about that one. Connecticut, I will keep at likely for the Democrats. Maybe it narrows up a little bit toward the end. As of now, this is looking closer to a safe margin at this point. Rhode Island, I'm going to put that at likely, down from safe. We got to wait for some additional polling. Dan McKee got through his primary barely. He's not very popular at all, but it is a fairly blue state. Ashley Kalis, she's probably going to lose. Just to be sure, I'm going to keep it at likely and see what happens. Pennsylvania, that was a tilt for Josh Shapiro. I'm putting it at lean for Josh Shapiro. The recent polling has just shown Doug Mastriano too far out of this to make it truly competitive. He's been down double digits in some polls. We'll see what happens in the home stretch with any debates. As now that it's October, this is really when a lot of people are going to start paying attention, some of them for the first time, and there's potential in some of these races to swing 5 or 10 points still. Let's do Maryland. That'll be a safe flip and a pickup for the Democrats. Wes Moore is poised to win that comfortably. How about in Ohio? That'll be an easy safe for incumbent Mike DeWine. Let's take a look at South Carolina. That I'm keeping as a safe for Henry McMaster. You could make a case it'll get just under 10 points, so it's a low safe, but I'm going to keep it there and see what happens. Georgia, that's an easy rating, lean for Brian Kemp. He's consistently polling in the low to mid, sometimes even the high single digits on occasion. I don't see Kemp losing unless a scandal breaks out and he collapses in the final stretch. Down in Florida, that is a likely for Ron DeSantis. I would like to see multiple debates between DeSantis and Crist. Probably not going to happen, but I think DeSantis is just too strong for him to lose, and it's possible it's under 5 points. It's Florida, but I'm going to say DeSantis still wins by 5 to 7 points. Alabama, that is going to be safe for Kay Ivey. Tennessee, that's also an easy call, very safe for Bill Lee. Let's go up to Michigan. All the polling has shown it in favor of Gretchen Whitmer, and there's not much that's even too close at this point. Yes, there is still time. As of now, I'm keeping it at lean for Whitmer. It could even go likely at this point. I don't think it'll go safe, and it could get down to a tilt. And Tudor Dixon, it's not looking great for her at this point, but I can't say she has no chance. And then let's jump over to Wisconsin. The polls have shifted a little bit more toward Tim Michels. Still a very close race. I've had this at tilt Republican for many months. I'm going to leave it there just for now. I think Michels has the edge, given the environment. I just want to see what happens in the month of October. Illinois, got to keep it at safe Democrat. Haven't seen anything yet there that would indicate Darren Bailey is going to make it under a 10-point margin. Arkansas, safe for Sarah Sanders. Up to Iowa, I'm going to move that to safe for Kim Reynolds and the Republicans. It might be in the high single digits, but it's looking more like Kim Reynolds is going to win that very easily. And then up to Minnesota. That I'm going to take from a likely Democratic to a lean Democratic. It's still borderline likely. I think Tim Walz is going to win. As of now, it might be 4 to 6 points as opposed to 5 to 7 or 8 points. Hasn't been a ton of polls out of Minnesota. It's hard to picture Walz losing, but I suppose Scott Jensen does have an outside chance if he can run a great campaign in the final weeks. South Dakota, Nebraska, easy, safe Republican. Kansas, I'm keeping that as tilt Republican. That's what I've had for a while. It's the right environment. Kansas is a fairly red state. Laura Kelly is the incumbent, though. She's running as a moderate centrist, but she did win by under 50% 4 years ago. Derek Schmidt, the Republican Attorney General, he should be able to beat Laura Kelly narrowly in the end. Maybe this ends up going to leans Republican, but it's possible Laura Kelly even still pulls it out. I need further information before that one is final. Under Kansas is Oklahoma. There has been some polls out of Oklahoma that has showed kind of a narrow race. So I'm going to put this at a likely, just to be safe. Hard to imagine Kevin Stitt losing to Joy Hoffmeister, but Hoffmeister, I suppose, is going to do it better than anyone could do for Oklahoma. So as of now, I still think it'll be about 8 to 10 points. And then in Texas, that's going to stay at likely Republican. Still think Greg Abbott will win by high single digits. It could be low double digits, but just to cover myself, I'm going to put it at likely. And then over in New Mexico, the incumbent, Michelle Luann Grisham, she has the advantage. There's no denying that. Mark Ronchetti, the Republican nominee, or Mark Ronchetti, he's probably the ideal nominee since he did better than expected when he ran for U.S. Senate last time. Luann Grisham is the incumbent. New Mexico is more of a blue state. She's going to have the edge. But right now, I think it'll be by about 5 points. Colorado, that's going to be safe for Jared Polis. It's possible it gets under 10, but I'm going to say it's a little bit over 10 at this point. Wyoming, very safe for Mark Gordon. Idaho, very safe for Brad Little. Nevada, those polls actually are very close. I've given the edge to Sisolak for a while now, and I'm still giving him the edge, but I'm going to make it a tilt for Steve Sisolak. Joe Lombardo, he could win this, but in the end, I still think Sisolak is going to pull it out. But that is up in the air for sure. Let's go to Arizona. That I've had at leans Republican, I'm going to keep it at leans Republican. I think Kari Lake just has more appeal than Katie Hobbs. The lack of debating, Kari Lake is polarizing. I get that, given the environment, and given Hobbs' relatively lackluster campaign thus far. I've got to say Lake wins that by at least 2 points. California will be very safe for Gavin Newsom. How about Oregon? That's a tough one. There's been some polls out in the last couple days. It has shown Christine Drazan, the Republican, slightly ahead. Maybe the Republican-leaning polls, but it's at least very competitive, to say the least. The third-party independent candidate, Betsy Johnson, her support has waned a little bit, but she's still drawing enough, possibly away from that Democrat, Tina Kotek. And Drazan could pull it out. This is almost the best-case scenario for the Republicans to win that governorship in Oregon. But as of now, I'm going to keep it at leans Democratic. I'm concerned some of these late-breaking voters that are supporting Johnson might see Drazan ahead a little bit, and they might end up going back to Kotek. Kotek, I think, would still win it by 2 or 3 points. But this could be a tilt, or it could shift toward the Republican even in this final 4 or 5 weeks. But that is a fascinating race to watch. And then up to Alaska, that'll be likely for Mike Dunleavy. The ranked choice voting, it is what it is. I think Dunleavy is going to win by at least 5 points, but it might be under 10 points. And then finally Hawaii, that is safe Democratic. Josh Stein, the current lieutenant governor, should win that very easily. There's not really any polling out, though, and I know Duke Iona, the Republican nominee, he does have high name recognition. He has run before several times, but he's probably a decent chance to make it as competitive as it could get. So maybe something does develop late and it gets under 10 points. But with a lack of additional information, the safe bet is to put this at safe for the Democrats. So that is it. That is my map, and that would result in 28 Republican governors, 22 Democratic governors. Do you mostly agree with my map? Do you disagree on 2, 3, 4 of these? That's fine too. Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoy this channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.